Okay, here I am for the fourth roast of my life. I just got this coffee roaster last week for Father's Day from my son, which I appreciate very much and have thoroughly enjoyed the 3 different roasts I've done so far. I did all those roasts with this Ethiopia coffee, Ethiopia Cayenne Mountain Juji. I didn't realize there's more than one Ethiopia coffee in my package here, so that's what I've done so far. I've done 3 roasts, 2 of them kind of light, and 1 of them a little bit darker. Even used some for espresso, and it's really good. Used the light ones for pour overs, those are really good. So today I want to use this Ethiopia coffee. I can't pronounce that, but I'll put it up close. Starts with a Y. And maybe one day I'll figure out how to pronounce that. But the description for this coffee is bold, chocolatey with caramely texture, heavy fruits, and sweet honeyness. I tend to prefer coffees like that, with the chocolatey and caramely and bolder, not so much the fruitiness. So this says heavy fruit, so it's probably not the typical fruitiness that is lower on my list of preferences, although I think the other Ethiopia one did have some of those descriptions, and I really liked it. So a lot of it has to do with, I guess, how you roast it. So this one I'm going to do the darker. It's recommended, actually, they say, to really get the flavor out of this coffee, you need to go darker on this one. So I'm going to do after the second crack. So there's a first crack, which is right at that point, it's a light roast, and then there's a second crack, which is kind of hard to spot, but I'm going to try to pay attention, and I'm going to go a little bit past that and see how it comes out. So I'm just going to do 2 cups, which I think each one is an ounce. Goes in. This will probably take about between 8 and 10 minutes to do. So there'll be a really boring part of this video because I want to take it all the way to the end and I can't pause it, so I'm going to just go straight through, which means I should probably start it. So there it goes. It starts with a basic factory setting of 6 minutes, and just based on my experience so far, my lighter roast I stopped, the last one I stopped at like 4.5 minutes, so I stopped it before the 6 minutes ran out. The darker roast of that same one, I went a couple minutes beyond the 6 minutes, so that's where I'm figuring it'll be at least 8 minutes, and maybe 8 or 9. I'm going to mostly go by listening for the second crack to occur, but I'm also going to try to go a little bit by the look of the bean. Supposed to get it to being on the darker side. So again, it's a lot of experimentation, which is why I'm only doing a little bit. I think you can do technically up to 4 cups of the coffee at a time. So I'm doing half of that, and that gives me enough to play around with. I can probably do a pour over with it. I really want to do an espresso with it, so that's kind of one of my goals. It's a little harder for me to do the espresso, so I don't want a whole bunch of espresso beans. The pour overs are more convenient, but espresso is my favorite. And tomorrow I'm planning on turning the machine on when I get up. This is going to have to sit for 4 hours. Right now it's 7:45 at night, so I won't be able to consume it until tomorrow anyway. So I'll turn the machine on in the morning. The coffee will be ready, and I can give it a try. So that's about all I have to say about this, besides waiting for these cracks to take place. So the first crack, if you've watched my other videos, it's like a popcorn thing. It really stands out. It's obvious. I just heard, if you can hear that, I'm hearing it already, the first couple pops. The second crack is more like a very subdued sound. I'm pretty sure I heard it on the first time when I tried to go darker, but it was a little kind of hard to figure out if I'd heard it or not. So So hopefully it'll be a little more obvious on this one. But honestly, yeah, and I read some of the notes people have written on the different coffees, and they say how, you know, they got terrible results their first couple weeks of roasting their own coffee, but then they figured it out, and like, I don't think I know anything special for sure. I just use the factory settings, and my first 3 roasts were fantastic. I love the coffee that I got from them. So maybe I just don't have. Maybe I'm blessed not to have a great palate, so I can enjoy a lot more than maybe other people can. Or maybe I'm in for a surprise. I'm gonna start getting some bad roastings as well. Hopefully not, but I've been, I guess I shouldn't have been, but I've been shocked at how good fresh roasted, home roasted coffee could be. I figured it was probably a little overrated, but I don't think it is. Now, for somebody who's not really into coffee, probably not worth it. Might not even notice it. If you like to put cream and sugar in your coffee, I haven't tried that with these. I've only had them, you know, black. I would have to assume that's going to kind of cover up the taste, and you're going to lose a lot of the benefits of home roasting. So at some point I'll try that, because I don't mind cream. I generally don't use sugar anymore. So I'd be curious if they maintain their uniqueness with stuff added to them. But at this point I just want to taste as much as I can. And a lot of the times when I drink black coffee, I'm just kind of drinking it in a sense, maybe putting up with it or trying to enjoy it, and I do, but not as much as I would if I put cream in it. But these ones, it's like I don't want to put, I enjoy them a lot without trying. Maybe it's just psychological. I know I roasted my own beans, and it's got to be amazing, but it has tasted really good. So I don't know if you can see that we're down to 1.3 minutes is right here. So this is fan speed. I don't know how important fan speed is. Maybe I'll find out one day. Power is on 9. I'm assuming that's the highest power. Seems to work well so far. And then this is the time. It starts at 6 minutes, counts down. And then once it's counted down to 0, it goes into a cooling phase where it cools the beans off. So a fan will continue without heat to cool the beans off. I've not heard a second crack as far as I know. Of course, some of the beans crack later, so you don't know if that's the beginning of the second crack or the end of the first crack. But in a second here, I'm going to add more time. In fact, I'll probably just do it now. That was 1.4, or that was 0.4. So I just added a minute. Now maybe I'm just going to do that. I'm going to let it get down to 0.4 and then add a minute as we go. So if I let it go down to the end, this would be a total of 7 minutes at this point. I predicted at the beginning that I would need at least 8 minutes, probably more than that. And I just honestly don't think a second crack has happened, but I don't know. Isn't it beautiful? I'm just using my iPhone to record this, so I kind of have limited capabilities. And they don't let you pause, so I can't like take a break and not waste your time while it's going on. Once you stop it, you start a new video. And I've never edited a video, so I don't know how to mess with all that stuff. I was talking too much. We accidentally went into cool down phase, so I turned it back to heat. So I guess that kind of messes it up a little bit as far as keeping track of what I've done, but I don't think otherwise I don't think it hurts anything. So I added a minute. So we've had a total of 7 minutes of roasting. So this, if I let this go all the way down, that'll be 8 minutes. And they don't look like they're getting that dark, to be honest. Smells really good though. So now it's going down to the end, so I put another minute on. So you can see it's counting down, it's 0.9 now, 0.8, so that's this will be 9 minutes, I guess, because this is the third time I've done this. I need to keep track of that. I should probably have like write little notes on here. They give you a little book to, oh, so I'm hearing popping, so this must be the second crack, so I guess the second crack happens a lot later than I thought it did. So now it's getting down to 0.1, I'm going to add another minute. It's starting to smell really good. So it must be going through the second crack right now. I don't know if you can hear that, I don't know how good the microphone is, but it's definitely getting darker. Definitely sizzling, cracking, whatever it is. So right now we're at 11 minutes. I'm probably going to go another. And I think this will probably be the end. It is looking darker. Smells really good. I'm tempted to go maybe another minute actually, because it's still cracking. So I'll have to take that back. Maybe we're going to go to 12 minutes. Which is interesting, because like I said, on the other Ethiopian, Fuji Ethiopian, for one of the light roasts I did the other night, I did for 4.5 minutes, and now we're on to 12 minutes. And I think I will stop, let it finish at this point, just because a little concerned going that far, since I haven't roasted this long before. I want to kind of see what the damage is, taste it, and then we can kind of go from there and refine it. So it did come with a little book, I don't have it right here, that you can kind of keep track of all the coffees you roasted and all the metrics or settings and everything, you know, how much time you did, what the settings were, so you can kind of know where you've been, what you've done, and either not repeat the same mistakes or repeat the successes. So now it's in the cool down phase. So if you can see that, there's a C, and then a 3, I assume that's 3 minutes, I'm not sure. So now we're just cooling. So we can probably stop there, and then maybe I'll make a short video tomorrow of tasting it and see how it turned out. I don't know if you can see the beans in there. They're looking pretty dark. So it's a beautiful thing, and I think the aroma coming out of there is just wonderful. So I think it's going to be a success. I'm convinced. But we will taste it and prove it out tomorrow. So thanks for watching and listening.